Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
Chiefs win. Cry, Eagles, cry.
Great, excited to be back in the league.
You know, every day I got the Three Stooges in the studio with me is a good fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So let's make sure he gets that bag.
F-R-A-U-D-S, fries! Woo!
Justin's way ahead in picks. That's all that you need to fucking know.
Show's over.
Show's over. We're going home. I would like to welcome you back to another page of the Playbook Sports Podcast.
So that's what we've got for the Midwest bracket. Let's go ahead and move on to our final bracket, the West, where we've got our first matchup is Kansas and Howard. And like I said, not long ago, I'm taking all the 1 seeds. It's Kansas. Bill Self out of the hospital, right? I think he's okay. That might be a little extra something for Kansas, man. Just a little extra push. You know, our coach is better. Let's go ball for him. I don't know.
Going for back, Kansas is, and I got him losing first round to Howard. No, I'm just kidding. No way. I'm riding with Kansas. That's just, I'm sorry, Howard, to get your hopes up. I know you're all listening, but give me Kansas.
Fun fact, Howard lost to Yale by 46 points this year.
Yeah, Kansas is about to go crazy.
That's going to be a
You're
beating.
be seeing some walk-on freshmen in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Walk-on
Back to 12 minutes.
Oh, my.
When it's 53 to 29 and a half,
Yeah.
life's going to hit you hard and fast right in the
Brought
mouth.
him out for 7 more minutes, and it's over.
I'm just Kansas. I don't got a lot to say about it.
Yeah, not a whole lot to say about it.
Or you with the numbers, but
Yeah, that's all right. Next up, we've got Arkansas going up against your Illinois Fighting Illini. And I've been fading the Big Ten all day. That stops right here, baby. As the Cinderella story begins. Give me U of I knocking off Arkansas, who is the superior team. I'll say it. Illinois is a team of streaks, without a question. I don't think that can even be argued. I mean, they've beaten Texas, who you both have going to the Final Four. They've beaten UCLA, who is a consensus. You know, they're a number 2 seed.
Tom's got them right up there third, I'm pretty sure, ranked.
Yeah, UCLA's at third. So they've beaten UCLA at third and Texas at 7. Like, that's impressive. They only lost to Purdue by 5. That's an impressive loss. But then they have the real absolute stinkers where you're like, oh, this team fucking stinks.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that they get it together for one game for me. Just one game. Give me a little something. Give me Illinois over Arkansas, who is definitely the superior team on KenPom. Arkansas is 20. Illinois is 33. But I'm riding with those Illini, baby.
Steve, just for this one, you go second.
all right. If you want to talk about numbers, Arkansas 15th ranked defense on KenPom, Illinois 32nd. If Illinois' government would get their betting restrictions down, I would love to bet the under on this game. Unfortunately, us Illinois bettors cannot bet on Illinois University.
So stupid.
Yeah, any amateur Illinois, yeah.
However, out in Arizona, whenever I visit, my mom's side of the family, we can bet on Arizona and Arizona State, no problem. So screw you, Illinois. Your government stinks.
Yep.
Come at me. But you look at Arkansas, man, they got 3 guards that could be in the NBA draft this next year in like the top 15, all 3 of them. Give me Arkansas. I don't trust Illinois' inconsistencies.
Yeah, man, this is a really good game between Illinois and Arkansas. I've been getting my boy Marv. He's been whipping stats and players at me from Arkansas. And obviously, Landon, big fan of Illinois. I've been hearing him all year. Sky Clark, best prospect in years. Didn't turn out. This team is – I like the addition of Matthew Meyer, though, for the tourney. I'm going to go Illinois here.
What?
I like these teams very similar built, very similar on KenPom. Close to each other. Illinois 57-32, like you said, Steve, for Arkansas. Very similar numbers there, but Illinois is going to find the stroke from 3, hit some big shots. That's where they lack. They shoot the ball a lot from 3, and they have a low percentage. Not a good mix. But with that, they compete in every game. They fight. Illinois cannot give up that big lead early because in March, you won't be able to do it, man, because Arkansas will just put the foot on the throat. I don't think that happens, though. Meyer has a big game. I like Illinois' depth at big, long. Coleman Hawkins, he's long. I like Danger. Give me Illinois over Arkansas.
This is a game if you like watching the coaches animated and bitch at the refs on the sideline. Both of these coaches love yelling.
Yeah, that's a game for you.
Buddy man on the sideline.
Yep. Next up, we've got the 5-12 matchup of St. Mary's and VCU. St. Mary's 11th on KenPom this year, 39th offense, 8th ranked defense. Very, very impressive. going up against a VCU team that just always seems to find themselves here in the tournament, man. Honestly, like I feel like for years they've just always been here. They just show up. Don't know how they get here. They just get here every single time. Ken Pom doesn't love them at 58th. Adjusted offensive 139. That's where the kicker is for me. That's where I go, okay, well, St. Mary's going to win this game because VCU just doesn't score. You have to be able to score points. If you can have a good defense, which they do. You know, VCU's defense is 16th, which is damn impressive. I mean, that's obviously how they got here. It's not on the back of their offense. But you're going up against the St. Mary's team that can score the basketball. They're, like I said, 39th in offense isn't sparkling, but it's not bad. But they have just as good of a defense as you too. So now it comes down to, okay, the offensive matchup here. And St. Mary's offense is just way better than VCU's offense, in my opinion.
Yep, I'm right there with you, Nate. St. Mary's, I love their defense. They're going to shut down VCU's offense, and St. Mary's can score. They are top 40, and it's the Ken Pom trend for national title winners. If you're in the top 40 offense, top 22 ranked defense, you're going to win the title. Potentially, you have a really good opportunity, really good chance ahead of you, and St. Mary fits that mold. They just snuck in at 39, but that defense is just too stout. They're going to hang, and they're going to shut down VCU, especially round one. Give me St. Mary's.
Yep, one of these two teams beat Gonzaga this year, and then played him closely the second time they played, but got obliterated in their conference tournament final. You talked about their defense. VCU is 17th or 16th ranked defense, whatever they were. This is definitely betting the under on. Just a slobber knocker both ways. But give me Mary's to move on. I think they just played better comp, and I've never been a big A10 guy in the tournament. So give me St. Mary.
I agree. Next matchup we've got here, we're just gonna keep plowing along. We've got UConn and Iona. I know Bob's a big Iona guy for some reason. I am not a big Iona guy, not in this matchup. This is the number 3 ranked Ken Pom team in UConn. They are averaging 13 points winning margin. Essentially, they're giving up 65 points a game, scoring 78.5. That's insane. They beat Alabama by 15. They smacked them. That's an impressive win, man. They beat Iowa State by 18. I mean, they have several good wins on their resume. UConn all day in this matchup. No upset here.
I was going to say, got to give the shout out to Bob. Got to give that shout out to Nelly Jr. Jr. His name is Nelly Jr., and he is a junior. And he is also a junior in college. So 3 juniors. He's a junior as a son, junior in college, and his last name is Junior.
Bobby loves it.
Iona does have bigs, but UConn, man. Again, I got to shout out my boy Marv. He's been doing wicked research and just been hooking me up for my bracket. I've just been listening to this guy. I mean, it's impressive. So, and like you said, Ken Pom, though, UConn, again, they're one of these teams that fits the trend for a team to go deep into the tournament. And I'm going to ride with UConn round 1 over Iona.
And they're 4th, Ken Pom. Sorry, I said 3rd.
I was going to say, I saw him 4th. I will say, with that all being said, the spread being only 9.5, it's interesting, you know what I mean? Because UConn can definitely score and they can defend. Iona's got a nice team built for March. I could see an upset here. Don't get me wrong. But just because of the fact I think they're going to go deep into the bracket, I got to ride with UConn.
Yeah.
I'm all over UConn as well. You talk about their offensive defensive ratings being excellent. They're right there with Marquette, lost by 2 points. And I don't know if it was the final of the conference tournament or the semifinal, but they lost by 2 to Marquette late in the year. They've been absolutely rolling. I love Sunogo as a big, could dominate and dictate a game on the boards. Give me UConn to beat Iona. Sorry, Bob.
Yeah, tough, man.
Bob's had a good enough week. He doesn't need us to pick Iona for him.
That's right. And the bet I gave him today already won, so he can be happy with that.
Yeah, he's had enough week.
Right. He's had a great week. Yeah, no kidding. Next up, we've got the 6-11 matchup, TCU, and I think, is it Arizona State one?
Versus Nevada. They're actually playing right now. I don't know what the score is. I haven't looked. I know they started. It's probably almost over. They started almost an hour and a half ago, I think.
Let's come at you live with a score update here. Arizona State's up by 25 with 17 to go.
Let's go. One of the plays on the TikTok tonight, Arizona State -2.5.
They are blowing them out.
Whoa.
I'm convinced. Give me Arizona State over TCU as the 11 seed over the 6 seed. I'm convinced.
I like it.
Yep. That's all I have to say right there. That's all I got for you.
That's tough. Arizona State is playing well. They do have a Michigan transfer, Frankie Collins. I feel like I don't have many upsets on this side of the bracket, but I'm still going to ride with TCU. I just think the overall team, good defense, 20th ranked on KenPom, and a pretty good offense, top 50, pretty much 53rd. So I'm going to go with TCU over Arizona State.
I'm taking TCU as well in this matchup. I always like to fade the Pac-12. I don't think they're a very strong conference. Normally when it comes to tournament, it's rich coming from a Big Ten guy because obviously the Big Ten hasn't done shit since early 2000s.
True.
But I like TCU in this matchup over Arizona State.
Okay. All right. I like it. Next up, the 3-14 matchup. We've got Gonzaga, the #1 offensive team, going up against Grand Canyon. I'm not going to say a whole lot and waste our time. Give me Gonzaga.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Nate. Gonzaga for first round. Just good luck. Grand Canyon, good luck.
Yeah.
Yep. #1 offense, Gonzaga against the 198th defense in Grand Canyon. However, Grand Canyon is 53rd offense, so this could be an over bet for
It
your
could be
boy.
an over. I like that.
Gonzaga to win, obviously.
I like that a lot. Last two games here for the round of 64 on this side of the bracket. We've got Northwestern and Boise State. And I'm going to go ahead and ride with the Big Ten, Northwestern here. This is a good matchup for sure. It was tough because Boise State's got some good wins on their resume. They beat Utah State once, lost to them twice, but that win, I've got Utah State in the Elite Eight, baby. That matters. That's a big one. But then Boise State also split with San Diego State. That's impressive. They beat Texas A&M by 15. That's an impressive win. But then I look at Northwestern. Northwestern beat Purdue. They beat Indiana twice. They split with Illinois, beat Michigan State at Michigan State, and lost to Auburn by 1 point. I like that. Northwestern has shown up this year. Give me Northwestern to win this one against Boise State.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. 13th and 14th ranked defensively in the KenPom, both these teams. Northwestern is out of the top 100 offensively. Boise State is 78th. It's going to be a banging defensive game. I'm going to ride with Boise State, though. I think the defense will come up to play. Offense is just a little bit better than Northwestern. I'm going to go Boise State round 1.
I'm taking Boise State as well as a 10 to advance here. Northwestern, as I've mentioned before, I just hate watching these lackluster offenses play. Say what you want about Boise State's offense, but they're much better than Northwestern's offense.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name? It's escaping me right now. Northwestern's guy who just murdered Illinois when they played last.
Oh, I couldn't tell you, but he had never done it before. I know that.
Yeah,
Is it Bowie or something like that?
Yeah.
Excellent guard. Can fill it up, but give me Boise State to knock them off.
Okay. All right. And then our last one here, this one will be probably a quick one because one of these teams is really good. UCLA and the really good team I was talking about, UNC Asheville. This could be a tough one for UCLA to come through. I got UCLA winning a nail biter.
Oh.
UCLA is going to whoop them. UCLA is a fantastic
The Jalen
team.
Clark injury, obviously there's questions there, but UCLA, so experienced, been here so much recently. I've got UCLA and probably going deep pretty far in my bracket as well.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm right there with you, UCLA. Don't need to say a lot. Kick us off in the 2, Clark.
All right, for this next one, I got the matchup of Bill Self and Illinois. It will be a good game, in my opinion. I think Kansas is just a little bit too much for Illinois. Big shooting. They're going to need it again if they're going to beat Kansas. Give me KU to beat U of I.
Yep, I have Kansas against Arkansas here. I just think Kansas is too much. I don't think they have the depth they've had in years past. But I think they have the best starting 5 in college basketball. Obviously, the Big 12 Player of the Year on their team, Bill Self at the helm. You can't ask for a much better combination of the best player in the conference and probably the best coach in your conference. Or not even maybe best coach, definitely best coach in their conference. So I have Kansas winning over Arkansas and advancing to the Sweet 16.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So,
No.
yeah. Well, so Kansas is the better team. Let's just get that right out of the way. Straight away, Kansas is obviously the better team. They're the 1 seed for a reason, 27-7 this season. They're fantastic. I will say if you're looking for a stat where you could be like, hey, Illinois maybe has a chance, like I am. The Illinois allows 67 points a game. Kansas allows 67.9. Kansas scores 74.9. Illinois scores 74.7. Those are almost identical points allowed and points scored totals. And Illinois is, like I said, one of the hottest and one of the coldest teams. Unfortunately, I don't think they're in the middle of a hot streak. They were earlier in the year, but that has fallen off as evidenced by the first round Big Ten exit. I think they're happy with the win against Arkansas, but I just, unfortunately, as much as I would love to, I don't see a way that they get revenge on Bill Self here.
Yeah, it would be a great, cool story, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Not every storyline hits in March because
Nope.
otherwise there'd be 3-14 seeds in the
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
In a wicked game between St. Mary's and UConn for my next matchup.
Wicked
I
game.
got UConn pulling it out. I'm buying into the Ken Pond man a lot this year. Really buying into it. See how it does for my bracket. And Connecticut's right there. Again, 6th ranked offense, 18th ranked defense. St. Mary's does have a good defense, but bang, UConn throws right at you with a prolific offense.
Mhm.
And they're playing extremely well right now. I'm going to go Connecticut to beat St. Mary's in a good game, though.
Yep, I don't have to say much more. You really said what I had to say. Both defenses are elite, but I just trust UConn more across the board. So give me UConn.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I got UConn for sure here. Setting up an awesome game between UConn and Kansas in the next round.
Yes, an absolutely awesome game if that was to happen, and I hope it does.
Mhm.
The next game, I got TCU going up against Gonzaga, and I got
Clark,
Gonzaga winning.
who'd you have again last game? Sorry.
Kansas.
No. After that,
UConn?
UConn suck on these nuts.
Oh, got his ass bad. I stayed silent. I
You
knew it.
son
And
of
I
a
stayed
bitch.
silent. I set that up, and he slammed that. Come on, man. Let's go.
Now I know where you I know where you get it from, Wade.
Back to business. Back to business.
Back to business. Here
Oh
we go.
my
But yeah, I got
God.
Gonzaga. Number 1 offense is going to be too much. TCU's defense is pretty good. Top 20, like I said. Give me Gonzaga's offense.
You're a real
Keep
son of a
sending. Love
bitch.
the decision to come back. Definitely got a bag in the NIL. Yeah, give me Gonzaga over TCU.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Colin, you're up.
I have TCU knocking off Gonzaga in this matchup, and I really don't know why. I just can't get the TCU beating of Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse out of my head. TCU was a team last year. I believe they made the Sweet 16
Mhm.
and lost in heartbreaking fashion. Give me TCU to beat Gonzaga here. Another Big 12 team to move on.
Okay.
All right, I like that. I am gonna go Zags here. I've got them beating Arizona State in this round. I think if TCU could have escaped Arizona State in their matchup, then I might be a little more interested in the TCU matchup because Gonzaga is so hot and cold, man. Like they have some really good wins and they have some really ugly losses too. But I think since they get the draw of Arizona State, I'm going with Gonzaga to win that matchup and move on.
Love that. Well, my next matchup is Boise State over UCLA. And I almost just said over UCLA. And yeah, right. I'm going UCLA here all day. Again, I love Def. I love Jaime. UCLA has just been here, done that recently, and it might be biased, but I don't care. Love Ken Pom. Love their team overall. Made me a bunch of money this year, so let's keep it rolling with UCLA.
I like it. Yeah, I get you.
I have Boise State, UCLA as well.
Hey guys, this is Nate from the Playbook Sports Podcast, and I want to take a moment and thank today's sponsor, Gold Fine & Bowles, Attorneys for the Injured. Established in 1962, these attorneys have served Central Illinois with dedication, care, and efficiency. In the last 10 years alone, they've recovered over $100 million in losses for their clients. Let me repeat that for you. Over $100 million for their clients. They specialize in workers' compensation, but are well-versed in automobile accidents, animal attacks, nursing home abuse, defective products, and wrongful death cases. If you're in need of any sort of legal representation, these fine gentlemen and their fantastic staff are available and are more than capable of helping you get what you are owed. Give them a phone call at 309-328-3997. Let me repeat that for you. 309-328-3997 and tell them that the Playbook Sports Podcast sent you. Gold Fine & Bowles, it's their experience that wins. Now let's get back to the video.
And give me UCLA. Don't need to really go into a lot of detail there.
Yeah, I've got a good matchup in Gonzaga and UCLA. I think that is going to be a great game, man. A high-powered offense against a very, very stout defense. But I can't go against UCLA here, man. I got UCLA beating Gonzaga. Gonzaga's just too hot and cold again. Like they just have the bad losses that I think UCLA will be able to expose them a little bit, man. Yeah, give me UCLA in this one.
All right, so I'm kicking off the Sweet 16 here. I have Kansas against UConn.
Oh, I choked. I totally choked. I misspoke. I have UCLA beating Northwestern, not Gonzaga. I misspoke. I have UCLA over Northwestern.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's why I had to disappear. I was like, wait, what?
My bad.
I'm just kidding.
Well, UCLA over Gonzaga is also not like crazy.
Yeah.
So our Sweet 16, Kansas against Connecticut. Give me Kansas here as well. The one position though on Kansas starting five that scares me is their center. KJ Adams. The lack of experience scares me a little bit against like a Sunogo for Connecticut. But just give me Kansas, man. Something about that team and that roster.
Oh my God. Well, something about that team and that roster has me picking against them. I'm going UConn to win this one, man. A big upset, knocking out a number 1 seed. UConn has been very, very solid, and I would say this is very close to a pick'em game between a 4 seed and a 1 seed, man. Just when you look at like BPI rank, UConn 6th, Kansas 9th. When you look at KenPom, we've got UConn at 4, Kansas at 9th. I mean, the numbers really kind of point towards Connecticut being the favorite in this game. And I think it'll be a really good game. And but I'm gonna roll with UConn to win this one, man.
Like it.
I am right there with you, Nate. I am also taking UConn to upset over Kansas here. Got to have an upset somewhere, and
Yep.
I'm right with UConn. Both these teams do fit the mold to win the title, according to what I've been saying the whole video, each one. Give me UConn, like you said, Nate, in a close game that probably will be a pick'em if this is the matchup.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take UConn in that pick'em.
Yeah, which sets up for. Wait, sorry.
So
Okay.
then the next matchup, I have TCU against UCLA at the bottom. And I'm taking TCU to beat UCLA and go to the Elite Eight.
Oh my.
Jaden Clark at some point is going to come back to hurt him. I do think Tiger Campbell and Jaime Jaquez obviously are excellent players in their own right. Give me TCU, man. I love this team. I don't know why I love this team, but give me TCU.
Okay. Wow. I've got Gonzaga, and you know, one of us, Colin, one of us is going to be very right, and the other one's going to be very wrong because I've got them losing first round.
So I originally wrote UCLA, but then I realized my whole Elite Eight is 1s and 2 seeds. So I was like, well,
Switch it up a little bit.
can't do that. So I love TCU all of a
All
sudden.
right, that's fair. That's fair. I've got Gonzaga and UCLA, and I spoiled this one. I got UCLA beating Gonzaga. I just like UCLA's defense, man. Obviously, they're the number 1 ranked defense on KenPom against the number 1 ranked offense on KenPom. That's going to be an awesome matchup to watch. But then UCLA's offense is 26th, and Gonzaga's defense is 75th, and there's your difference right there. Give me UCLA in that one.
Yeah, no Jalen Suggs to hit a deep 3 buzzer beater here. Give me UCLA against Gonzaga. Nate, like you said, it's going to be a great matchup. Number 1 offense, number 1 defense. I mean, we basically have the same bracket.
Yeah, pretty close, man.
Here, and I love that on the west side. So yeah, give me UCLA in a game to play UConn.
Yeah. And this might be the like as of right now, this might be the matchup of the tournament, man. You've got the 3 and 4 teams for KenPom here going up against each other in UCLA and UConn. If my bracket holds true here, and every part of me wants to pick UConn, but I don't want to have another 4 seed going. I feel like I always just become enamored by these 4 seeds. I feel like really good teams end up as 4 seeds, and I just ride them all the way to the end, and they end up hurting me. So give me the favorite. Give me the 2 seed UCLA to knock off UConn in an all-time classic matchup here, and UCLA to advance to the Final Four.
I will, man, Nate, I'm so close to taking UCLA as well, but I think this is where the Clark injury comes into play. I think UConn sneaks into the Final Four.
Yeah.
We'll see. News is probably broke about 10 minutes ago. Orlando Brown Jr. to the Bengals, from the Chiefs to the Bengals.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to the Bengals, going to Cincinnati. But back to college basketball, though. UConn, in a damn good game. That's good. UConn's offense and UCLA's defense will be wicked. UConn's top 6, UCLA's number 1 D. Give me UConn though to pull it out, make it to the Final Four.
Okay, I like it.
Electrifying. So I got a Big 12 matchup here in the Elite Eight. I have Kansas against TCU, and I have my first and only 1 seed making it to the Final Four. I have Kansas moving on.
Ooh-wee. Okay, I like it.